Hi, floss tubers. Today is, excuse me, July 16th, 2017. It's great to see everybody. Hope you've just all been fine and stitching away. Today I feel kind of chatty, although I have to go to work tonight and I do need some sleep. But, so grab your stitching, your favorite beverage, and let's get started. I'm going to talk about some haul, some whips, and my random things, 20 random things about me, and a giveaway. If I seem disorganized, I think I am. Today anyway, because I have a lot of stuff, and it's been since May 29th since I made a video, and I did not intend for it to be that long. It just seems that life happens, and you know me, I work all the time, so it's just really hard for me to find a time just to sit down. And when you work overnight, you tend to, I think you sleep more, because I get off at 7 in the morning, I go to bed about 8, sleep till 4 or 5, get up, eat supper, and then go back to sleep for a couple hours before I go to work. So really not much stitching time. And but I think while we still have summer, I think I'm going to be sitting outside in the mornings and do some stitching out there. For those of you that, excuse me, I'm going to adjust this here a little bit. If you see my Facebook page, you know that we had a hailstorm, did a lot of damage. The new car parking lots, the cars were just plummeted, people had windows broken, anywhere from dime size to baseball size hail, and it literally filled my yard. I was walking out to my car the next morning, I was slipping and sliding on all the ice. I have to tell you this. Here in town we have a dog ordinance, so they have to be leashed. And when the hail started and the rain, I realized that I had my car windows slightly open on both sides. So I run out to my car, getting plummeted by hail, to shut my windows. And who comes behind me but Mr. Bear? And he had to go potty. So he takes off across the yard, and I'm thinking, oh, please don't let me chase him down. But after he finished, he came back, so, because he was getting hit by the hail too. But like I said, yeah, did a lot of damage and got my car windows rolled up. But yeah, I suppose we had, at least a good inch or more of ice on the grass in my yard. So if you're on my Facebook page, I did put up a picture. So let's get started here. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, and then another reason that it's been 5 weeks. I had got my hair cut shortly after I did my last video, and I know it was extremely short, but I just kind of wanted it cleaned up. A little bit around the ears, a little bit in the back. I was literally butchered. Well, I have the fan on right now, but see how short my hair is? I mean, like, short. This is 5 weeks growth. So needless to say, I was skinned bald. This is the second time it's happened to me. I don't know why hairdressers or stylists just think that I look good without any hair. Halle Berry, I am not, obviously. But, so hence the late video too. I wanted some hair to grow back. Okay, I did sign up for Stitch from Stash. Oh, by the way, did I say? I can't remember. But get your stitching out, get a beverage of your choice, and we'll sit here and talk. I did join, like I said, Stitch from Stash, so I wanted to order some things before July 1st started. So I signed up for Color Cascade Fabric of the Month, I got a subscription to Stony Creek magazine, which of course I wanted to finish up the Halloween afghan. And I ordered the Just Cross Stitch magazine again, which I vowed I said I wouldn't. But I think I just do it for the ornament issue. That's a lot to pay just for an ornament issue, right? Well, we don't have Just Cross Stitch in the stores here, so it's not like I can get it. And there was just no way I could buy that much stuff to last me through. I have like enough thread, I think, for most things, but I'm really short on fabric, or fabric colors that I want. So as of now, I haven't spent any of my $25 allowance, and I don't stitch fast enough to get a piece done to allow me to buy some stuff. So this is a good motivator. I failed, epically failed the last time. But so hopefully I've made it, what, 2 weeks, almost 3 without blowing it. So we'll see how this goes. So I want to show you my first piece of Color Cascade fabric that I received for Fabric of the Month. And I think I'm shortly to get another one here, because I paid for 3 of them and I've just gotten 1. But it was totally worth it. Stephanie's fabric is a lot lighter, and but like I said before, a lot of her colors stay the same. So that's why I said I was going to try other, excuse me, my nose itches, allergies. I was going to try other dyers. This is sort of, and it looks blue here, but it's really not. This is sort of Caribbean green. There's really not any blue to it, but it is just gorgeous. I think I'm not into mermaids so much, although some of the mermaid patterns that I've seen are absolutely stunning. As of now, never say never, right? But so I'll find something to stitch on it, and I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, excuse me, beautiful. And then I did get a piece of fabric. What did I just do with it? Oh yes, and this is from Crafty Kitten. Now her fabric is really nice too. You see, I haven't taken out of the package. It looks lavender here, but it's more pink than lavender. And this is Moon Blush Opal in 28 count Brittany. But as pretty as this is, it took over 2 months to get it. And you know us stitchers, when we want something, we want it yesterday, right? But yeah, so I'm anxious to find something to stitch on that. I did pick up some Mirabilia patterns. God knows I don't have enough, right? And I really need to get stitching. But not too many of them. But I did pick up this one. I've seen this one stitched, and I just love it. It's called Autumn in My Garden, and this is number 91. So I did get that, because I love everything autumn. I don't know how this got in here. I think I ordered this from eBay. This is a Told in the Garden, Strawberries Forever. But I think I've had this a while. I love like Amish pictures, quilts, countryside. These two here. These are something else. And then I might give this one away. I used to own it. God knows what happened to it. But this is the Elizabeth in the Lavender Sky. This is number 10. And I don't know if I'm going to stitch it or not. We'll see. And there's no beads in it, just cloth. But I like the pink flowers. It's kind of a big deal right now. I see a lot of people are stitching pink flowers. And then I got this one, My Lady's Garden. And this is from 1995, and this is number 9. So that is what I have gotten. And let's see, I did, like I said, see, I'm disorganized at the moment. I just saw them a minute ago. Who knows? Oh, here they are, right in front of me. Crazy. I did order the Main Street. This is the bookstore. This is the flower shop. And I have the third one in here. Oh, let's see, maybe I can't open it without scissors and I don't have it in front of me. Some of these packages are so hard to open. They really make you work for it. Which is, I mean, it's good to be sealed up properly because sometimes the post office can be very difficult on packages. And this is the gazebo. But I had ordered Star Sapphire for, what was it? The I Love New York, or the New York one. And it was really almost a dove gray. And then I ordered, did I order it for this? I know I have 2 pieces. I think so, maybe. Or what else did I order it for? I can't remember offhand. But, so, it makes me kind of question. I mean, is it gray? I think it's supposed to be green, but the first one was almost a dove gray, and it says Star Sapphire, unless somebody misprinted it, or, I mean, mistagged it or something. Okay. Let's see, here was, oh, this is the last just cross stitch one that I received, and I really didn't see anything in here that I would want to stitch, except one, well, maybe 2 things, 1 or 2 things, and that is it. Let's see. These are like little pin cushions. I thought these were cute. And, you know, do people really put pins in them? I'm just wondering, because by the time you make it, and I mean, they're so pretty, do people really use them, or are they just for decoration? I don't know. I've never made one before. And I think these are adorable. One for spring, one for summer. Just little box things that you set out. Stackable blocks. I don't know how big they are. They look huge. Oh, they're only 55 by 55. Let's see, what count did they do it on? Well, I think it's just with DMC. Oh, it does have some weeks die. So they did it on 30 count, but they're 10 by 14 and 10 by 10. Oh, there's a Gentle Arts too, and Classic Colorworks. I didn't cover all the bases. But yeah, I think these are super cute. Would I put them in my house? I don't know, but I think they're cute. It might even be, you know, sometimes it's just kind of fun to stitch with bright colors, you know, compared to like me who always do the samplers, the monotone, or yeah, monotone? I don't know. And then, let's see, what else do I have going on here? Oh yeah, I got a thing for World of Cross Stitch. I've never seen a magazine. Do any of you subscribe to that? Is it worth getting? And does it have colored patterns? Because if it has colored patterns, and I generally don't get them because my eyes are so bad that it's just difficult for me to distinguish between colors. So I'm just asking you guys out there what you think. Let's see here. I'm crossing things off as I'm going through them, and I know that I've forgotten something. Let's see. I did. Oh yeah, it was McKenna. Here a while back ago when she was on vacation, she went through the books that she got. Well, you know, I love historical books. I love anything on the Tudors, Victorian era. And if any of you belong to Goodreads, I'm now one of the monitors on the Victorians. And so next month I'll be doing Silas Marner. Haven't read that since 9th grade, but I'm going to be reading it. Let's see. Oh, I did order Nightmare, and I didn't like it at first, but then the more I got to looking at it, I thought, you know, that is really cool. I love this. However, they did this on 40 count. That ain't happening. Maybe 36. I don't think 40. But I was going to order Ashes to Ashes from Fiberlicious, the fabric, but her count only goes to a 32. So I'm wondering if the thread would cover the 32 count, the black thread, or whether I should just go with a 36 count. And would opal be too much? They did this on Silver Fur, which is vintage, which is discontinued, but it isn't hard to get silver fabric. But yeah, so this is from the Courtney collection. And let's see, what else? Oh yes, I have had only one needle minder this whole time, and it's a cross, and because I figure you can only use one at a time, right? Or at least most people do, right? And so sorry, my glass strap keeps showing. So I really didn't see a need of getting any more because I only need one good one, right? Well then, Sherry Burkett, hi Sherry, all of her clay needle minders that she got from down Sunshine Lane. So I drank the Kool-Aid. I was just going to get July's, but she had some June left over. So this is June. Little Beach, they're just cute. And she does give you the option of just getting the clay ones only. And this is the, oops, sorry, 4th of July one. So yeah, I was waiting to take them out after I showed you what it was. Where is the box here? And yeah, they ship really fast, so I'm excited to see what the next one was. And I think she told me that she has them done up through October. I think October. So I'm hoping maybe we get a Halloween one. That would be fun, and I can put it on my Halloween afghan. Okay. Now for, I think that's all of my haul. So that really in 5 weeks isn't very much. I don't think anyway. Because this girl can spend. I don't spend as much as others, but I can spend. Oh yeah, the book McKenna had. Where is it? Because I just took it out. I had it in my hands. Lordy me. Sorry here. Don't mean to move the camera. Oh, here it is. It sits under some fabric. But this is the needlework of Mary Queen, or can't even talk. Mary Queen of Scots. And I think needlework or needlepoint can be converted to cross stitch. But it has a lot of pictures, a lot of history. Here's some filet. Looks like maybe crochet. Put together in a napkin. I haven't had time to read it yet. And of course, a lot of their needlework displayed real life, what was happening in real life. You know, with nature scenes and things like that. I would love to be sitting in a castle somewhere doing needlepoint or cross stitch. Wouldn't that be awesome? Let's see. Well, they have some candle wicking. We haven't seen that for a long time. And tapestries. Oops, sorry. I have to have the fan on because it's so darn hot, and if I turn the air on, it just makes too much noise. There's this. Bears crashed out on the floor over there. Let's see, but mostly it's wildlife and nature and different things like that. So when I do read it, I'll fill you in on it. Okay. Trying to set some of these things out of my way here. I gotta tell you about, this is a bear story. Other than today, he was so cute. You know, I try to make him be a bad dog, but he will not be a bad dog. You know, I try to get him on my bed to sleep with me. He won't jump on the bed. He won't jump on the couch. Today, I dropped a French fry on the floor. He didn't even pick it up. He just sat there and looked at me. I can leave food sitting on the floor on a plate. He won't touch it. So whatever life experiences that he had before, I'm wondering how he came to be. But he's just a very sweet dog. But anyway, on the 1st of July, Watertown, where I live, South Dakota, had the biggest fireworks display in South Dakota. Now, we're a small town of 2,300 people. There were over 40,000 people there. You can imagine the craziness. Last year, actually, somebody was killed on a motorcycle leaving the place where they have it. But it was huge. Well, I decided not to go. It was my one day off, and I just decided to stay home and relax. Well, we don't live too far from there, and so I could have went outside and stood and watched fireworks from my front yard, backyard, whatever. But I stayed in the house, and anyway, poor Bear, he was just terrified. Even a couple times when fireworks went off, he yelled out a yelp. And for the next 3 days, well, actually I went to work that next night, and he had such diarrhea, he messed in his cage. It's the first time he's ever made a mess. I mean, it was just watery. And for 3 days, he had solid water diarrhea. So I called the vet. And I've always heard like rice and boiled chicken. She said, no, just keep, just giving him his regular dog food. And she said, but, if you're concerned, bring in a stool sample. We'll be happy to. Well, after the 3 days, it was fine, so they said that they've seen a lot of dogs with stomach and diarrhea issues over the 4th. And so when I went in there yesterday to get some dog food for him, they said, if you want to talk to the doctor about, during the thunderstorms or, 4th of July time, giving him a little something to help him settle down. But, I don't want to see him a nervous wreck, but I hate to give him, drugs, to make him sleepy. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And I've never been home at nighttime when we've had a thunderstorm. So I don't know, how he reacts, or, I haven't seen that. So, but he's okay. So that's good. Excuse me. My mom always said, when your nose itches, that means you're going to kiss a fool. Oh, gosh. Like I said before, I've kissed many fools in my lifetime. Okay, now let's get to my stitching, or lack thereof. Crossing. Boy, I'm going through this a lot faster than I thought. The first one I'll show you is the Halloween Afghan. I did take that to work for a few nights, but it's a lot to haul. And for those, excuse me, for those of you that haven't seen it or what the pattern looks like, this is the pattern. And Tracy P., I think you should do a SAL with me. We could motivate each other, spur each other on. And this is supposed to end autumn of 2017, so that means I better get myself in gear, because I'm sure I'll want to stitch the next one, whatever comes out. So this is what I have so far. Lately I've just been taking my knitting to work, or crocheting, because when you have a 15-minute break, by the time you take everything out, your break's almost over. And it works better with a half hour, so that's why I've just been taking my knitting and crocheting. But, oh, I'm so uncoordinated. But this is what I've got. This is what I've gotten done so far. So yeah, as you can see, I have a long way to go. Doesn't matter, Tracy, if you're not as far as I am. We can still cheer for each other. And who knows, you might bypass me too. The next piece that I started was this one, Veronica. Now, looking at the picture, it looks like a lot of shades of tealy green. There's a lot of black in it, a lot. And with beads, I don't like to use 32 count, I like to use 28. So I decided to order the Star Sapphire, the green, in 28 count Lugano. Well, the fabric, the fabric looks fine. I mean, it's bare hair. Okay. It doesn't look very green here, but I think it's because I have my windows open. But yeah, it's very nice fabric. Oh, this is Joblin. I actually prefer Lugano over Joblin. Joblin to me has a different weave. It's almost like it's harder for me to good gracious. Harder for me to see. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I just kind of set it aside. But I started it. Where in the heck are you? Right here. I'm going to bring it up close. But it looks like to me that the black thread doesn't cover enough. Am I wrong? Do you think it'll be okay? Do I add another piece of black thread? Do I try pearl cotton? Do I switch fabrics? What the heck do I do? I need some advice. Let's see if I can. Oh gosh, trying to fold this at a moment's notice. It looks like a little kid did it. Oh, no. So what do you think? Let me know, please. Okay. Then I started, you know that little girl I said I was going to make the Cinderella for that doesn't like Cinderella for my Sunday school? I decided to make her ABCs of Faith. Something that she could have throughout her years, and I haven't decided yet how I'm going to frame it. Oh, believe me, I'm not framing it. Sorry. But this is the pattern. And it isn't too bad of a stitch. If some of you follow me on Instagram, I usually post updates there too. But this is what I have done so far. And there for a while I was trying to do a word a day, but then I got caught up in some other things, and this is where it stopped. But maybe I should take it out because I want to give it to the little girl. And then I could get some more stash money. Okay, let's see. List. Okay, here we go. And my Afghan I will show you guys later. It's when I start cross stitching on it, so it's going to be a while. Um, um, um. This is my do different pattern. Didn't get really very far on it. Oh yes, here's my needle minder, my Kelmcott needle minder. It's a good magnet. And have you noticed how many people are finishing Death by Cross Stitch? I haven't even started that one. I'm still working on this. It's taking me forever. Bare hair again has struck. But this is what I've got. I have to tell you this story. I had to, I'm taking a week off, not this week, but the following week, and I'm teaching VBS for a week. So they had different supplies that the church needed, so I went and took 6 packs of Oreo cookies to them. Well, they had a list, and I picked the Oreo cookies, but I had to get them out of my house as fast as I could because I knew I'd eat them and go into a diabetic coma. And so anyway, I've been really apprehensive. I think some of you have commented on Instagram. I'm just not sure if I like the alphabet sampler fabric and thread that I'm doing. And some days I kind of like it, other days I think, wow, it's too much. It's a gift. So I showed it to one of the girls who was working in church. I said, what do you think of this? Because I figure she is a non-stitcher. And she said, well, it's nice, she said, but I don't really know much about colors. Ask one of the ladies over there. Okay, my OCD kicks in because I'm thinking, you know, okay, what's wrong with it? So I showed it to another lady at church, and she said, I like how the colors blend. She goes, I'm sure it'll be okay. So I'm wondering if I should just restitch it. I was thinking like a dark green solid or dark brown solid, you know, something warmer. But this is my Gloriana topiary, and this is what I have stitched so far. Forgive the thread here. So this is it. I'm not sure. Let me get it closer. This is pretty much true color. I'm not sure I'm loving it. I don't hate it, but I'm not sure that I'm going, oh wow, this is pretty. I mean, it's nice, but I don't know. I just don't know. Do I start over? I mean, I know it's important to stitch what you love, and I keep stitching on it thinking, oh, it's going to get better. But seriously, I just don't know. You know, and then I'm thinking, is it good enough? All those crazy thoughts that go in your head. You know, and then I keep thinking, do I rebuy? I mean, because by the time I got the Gloriana, which is very expensive, you know, it's $7 a skein or more. Oh, my thread is caught in my Ziploc bag. Oh no. You know, do I spend another $100, you know, on it? Do I finish what I have? Do I just keep stitching and hope that I like it? Do I, you know, I don't know. And this is the thread. It's kind of a tangled mess, right? I did start trying to get it into a ball here. I mean, I love the colors, the deep rust, the gold, the dark olive green. I mean, they're pretty colors, but I don't know. It doesn't, to me, have the wow factor. Do I need a wow factor? You know, I guess I'm giving it as a gift. I want them to like it. But, I mean, their house has warm colors in it, the olive green and the rust and all of those, but I don't know. So let me know what you think. Should I keep going? Should I just try something else? You know, and then I think, well, what if I don't like that? What if I buy all that material and thread and not like that either? Do you guys have any of those thoughts, or is it just me? Okay, let's see. I think that is all that I've stitched on. Yep, pretty much. Yeah. There's I don't know if any of you watch Country Tapestry, but she had the coolest video here a few weeks ago. And I'm going to put a link down below, and when you watch it, have Kleenex. I just really enjoyed it so much. So I'm not going to spoil it for you or tell you what it's about, but just go ahead and watch it if you have time. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the 20 random things. And then we'll discuss giveaway. Okay, let's see. I think I've gotten everything. You may not want to watch me after I do the 20 random things. You're probably going to go, this lady is weird. It's too much. And I'm not really into sharing my personal life so much. It's just who I am. And it's hard for me to open up to people unless I feel comfortable, you know, with them. But when I first started writing this out, I could only think about 8 things. Racked my brain. Then I got up to about 13. Now I think I have over 20. But some of them they have little stories that go with them, but they're kind of crazy. Okay. One of them is, I used to have a perch, you know, a fish, a perch for a pet. When I was growing up, I was probably, I don't know, 11, 12 years old. We had a lake home too. And in the summer, we'd spend the weekends at the lake home. And so I went fishing, caught this baby perch, and put him in a bucket and took him home with me. Now, back then in our house, in the basement, we had these huge galvanized steel wash tubs. I mean, they were just huge. So I put the fish in there, I filled it with water, and I would just sit and watch him swim in this galvanized tub. And I fed him worms, and he was my pet. And because my parents wouldn't get me a dog at the time. And so pretty soon Mr. Perch got really big. And so I did release him back to the lake. I didn't try to socialize him with another perch before I let him go. I hope he's okay. I hope he's still alive. Probably not, maybe after all these years, but yeah, I used to have a perch for a pet. That's crazy, huh? And then I almost decided whether or not I should add these or not, because I don't want to seem like I'm bragging on myself. You know, I mean, that's not the point. It's just a fact. I mean, it's not to make myself look better than anybody or whatever, but I can speak 5 languages. Some not so good. Heck, I can hardly speak English on most days. But I can speak English, German, uh, and then I speak Dakota, which is, a Native American language. If you've ever seen the movie Dances with Wolves, which is filmed in South Dakota, they speak Dakota, the Native Americans do. But I taught at a tribal school for 22 years, so of course I want to pick up the language. And Norwegian, because my mom came to this country speaking Norwegian, couldn't speak English, and so I learned a lot from her, and French. But my French, I only took a year of that in 9th grade, and I mean, I think I can probably understand a little bit, but not much. I mean, it's been too many years. In German, I did go to Germany. I have a minor in German, only just because I like the language, the country, the food, the people, but yeah. And when I was in college, I was taking German and Norwegian at the same time. Well, German, of course, is a guttural language, and Norwegian is the high-low. I dropped the Norwegian because it was too much. I have several degrees, not because, I mean, I just took them because I wanted to learn. My oldest daughter always told me, "Mom, you've been in school my whole life." And she's in her 40s, so yeah. But my undergrad, I have a degree in English, and I have minors in German, psychology, history, what else? And then my master's is in secondary education. I have a specialist degree in autism. So I've been through a lot of school. I've never regretted any of it except the student loans that I'm still paying back. I don't do caffeine. It's not for any religious reasons or anything. Usually if I drink coffee or soda with caffeine or whatever, I get the heart palpitations. And so I just don't do caffeine. I did drink at the beginning of summer, I did drink a tiny bit of iced tea, but I mean, it wasn't maybe a cup or two, and that was about it. But once in a while I will, if I'm sick, have some hot tea, but no caffeine. Okay, I have a teddy bear that's 60 years old. My dad gave it to me when I was 2 years old, and I was in the hospital having my tonsils and adenoids out. And back then is when they used ether, to put you out. I just remember them putting that mask on my face. It was horrendous. But I will show you the bear. But this is Mr. Bear. Oh, here comes the other one. And he is 60 years old. He's got bells in his ears. No, this isn't for you, and it's not your sibling. But yeah, that's Mr. Bear. And he's not a toy. You will not chew him. Yeah, you can sniff him. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, yes. Every year, well, for the past 2 years, I've taught Vacation Bible School. And the first year, or 2 years ago, we made these boxes, these little saving boxes. See, I wrote spend less. And on it is a Bible verse. And so in this, every week, I put money in here for charitable purposes. Not organizations, but because I do sponsor a child through our church that lives in Southern Africa. And I will show you his picture one of these times. He is just adorable. Oh my gosh. He lives with his mom There's not a dad in the picture. His mom's expecting. He's 5 years old, and he is the cutest little boy ever. But anyway, so I put money in here every week, and it's gotten to be a sizable amount because I've been doing it for several months. And if there's somebody that I think is in need of something, that's what this money will be for. There's a girl that I see all the time at working at the grocery store, and I seen her working in a restaurant. I had a small conversation with her one day. It was near Christmas time, and I know she works 2-3 jobs, and she said that her kids, and I think they're near teens, were only getting one Christmas gift because she wasn't going to, she just didn't have the money to spend, on them. So I might take some of this money at Christmas time and give to her, and maybe give her a gift card to a grocery store or something. But yeah, I mean, it's just for people in need. I haven't touched it at all. Boy, I could go on one heck of a shopping spree for fabric and thread, but this is the box that I still use. So that's that. See, these little rummage sale sticker things, I put polka dots on it. Okay, I was named after Judy Garland. People always say to me, "Are you named Judith?" No, my name is Judy. That's it, Judy K. I don't know if any of you, well, I went to high school in Michigan, and I don't know if any of you know the actor Sinbad. He's a comedian. But anyway, I went to high school with him. And he was a PK, and if you don't know what a PK is, it's a preacher's kid. But yeah, he was a class clown. He was a couple grades under me, but he was always goofy. But yeah, I went to high school with him. I had long hair in the 70s. It was clear down to the top of my pants. And then when I had kids, cut it all off. Well, not this short. I mean, it was probably Bob's shoulder length. Okay. Then, when I worked at the Native American school for 22 years, I had left. In the Native American culture, they give away star quilts. And I've received 3 of them in my life. One bear. He's got his head on the computer screen, or on the computer keyboard. I received one from a student helping her get through graduation. In the senior year, when they do a research paper, it's a struggle for a lot of kids. And so, out of her gratitude in helping her, she gave me a star quilt. I did receive one when I left the school, and when my best friend passed away 5 years ago from ovarian cancer, I received one from her family. If you know, I'll show them to you, but I'm in such a small space, it's really hard. A friend of mine told me that if you don't use them, it's considered bad luck. I don't use them, I put them away, and I know it doesn't do any good. I just have 2 of them here right now, but let's see, I don't know how I can do this here. Let's see, what if I stand up? Excuse me. Oh, good gracious. There's the center. But it's got, sorry, green and peach and light green and lavender and pink and green flowers. I don't know if you can, it's kind of bright with the light on. This I received from the school. And then this is what I received from my best friend's family. This is a satin one. I'm sorry. In the middle is a burgundy red. It looks purple, but this is Epic Failure. They're so big. Maybe I should hang one on a wall and then try to show you. Oh, sorry. But anyway, the star in the middle means honor. That's where it comes from. And so, excuse me, I had hamburger and onions for lunch. So the star is the direction the star is traveling from. I can't even, travels to Earth from the sky. And so that's your connection with the living and the dead. And so what it means symbolically is that it's to give you a safe journey throughout your life. And I was always told that, you know, a blanket is security. And so when you find yourself in need of, you know, like warmth or food or safety or those kinds of things, that you can always go back to that person to receive that. So yeah, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. But yeah, but I have to tell you, my best friend, we started out as teachers together. She became my boss, my principal, and so we always had this close connection. And then I went to a different department, so she was no longer my boss. But she was 42 years old, had cervical ovarian cancer. They did a hysterectomy. 6 months later, she was gone. Her and her husband just adopted this little baby prior to that, and the little girl was 2 years old, and so now her dad is raising her. And she's about 8 years old, and of course she doesn't remember me, you know, and I don't go over there very often, but it's just a heartbreaking story. She could never have children, and she waited later in life to get married, so but yeah, I miss her every day. And speaking on that note, I just want to say we lost a stitcher in the past couple of weeks, Bev, from Teddy Bear Crafts, and her and I had messaged back and forth several times, and I knew she was doctoring, and I think Stitcherista also mentioned it, that no one ever really knew the severity of it. I will continue to miss her as well. She always had such positive, upbeat things to say and kind words to everyone. So my heart goes out to her husband Ken and their family, and she will be missed. She will be missed. Okay, I am a spiritual person, I guess you would say a religious person. I don't talk about my faith much, but I try to live every day as I should. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But I spend a lot of time um, reading the Bible, going to church activities, just really trying to live by my faith. Never try to say a harsh word. But yeah, my faith is very important to me. And I hope that people can see that through me, that that I try to live that way. Um, my kids. Oh, and then talking about giving too, I wanted to mention, when I was saving money for charity, my son, I have to brag on him just a little bit. Bless his heart. And all my kids are so generous. Okay, except the youngest one, she's not. She's selfish mode. But they're very giving people, and I hope I've raised them to be that way. But my son will go to Walmart on Christmas Eve day every year and pick up somebody's layaway. And usually, oh gosh, why am I getting so emotional? Usually somebody, he says he won't get video games or, Xboxes or things like that, but like if they have some Barbie dolls or some toy trucks or something like that, he'll go there, like I said, on Christmas Eve day and pick up their layaway or pay for it, so all they have to do is pick it up. So, like I said, I hope I've instilled some of those values in him, or all my kids. Okay, I am allergic to jewelry and the sun. Jewelry, I wear it, but then I pay for it. I usually have to paint either wear hypoallergenic, and then I get a rash from it. I do have a watch on, as you see, and I generally paint the back of that. Any metal touching me, I generally break out. The sun too, I get a horrible itchy rash from the sun. And I used to tan. Oh heck, I used to go in tanning beds or, lay out on the roof, burn myself. But I think just years of taking medication has changed my body chemistry. That's what I really think it is. But so I have to be really careful. My dad's ex-wife taught me how to knit. Is that awkward or what? Oh my gosh! I was just a little kid. Well, not little, maybe 9, 10, 11, somewhere around that. Those were eventful years, I think. But anyway, her and her husband came to visit us when we lived in Michigan. I think they lived in Oregon at the time. And she had yarn and knitting needles, and I'm not even looking at the camera, it looks like. Here, let me get over this way. She had yarn and knitting needles, and I must have just been fascinated by it. So I remember she had this olive green wool yarn. I mean, kind of like the army cotton blankets that are made out of. And it was the roughest stuff you ever used. But she taught me how to knit. Bless my mother's heart. I mean, I can imagine how hard it must have been for her, even though my dad's ex-wife was married and her husband was with. To have his first wife in her home, God bless her. I couldn't have done it. Couldn't have done it at all. Okay, let's see. Number 14. I do a lot of writing, of course, being an English teacher and stuff too. I've always wanted to write professionally, but I think I'd be a starving artist. But people say I'm good at writing. Sometimes I just don't know what to write. I just write short stories or just tuck them away, never try to publish or anything, but I'd like to do some professional writing. At least maybe one book as a legacy to my family or something. But I did, one of the hardest things I ever wrote was my, gosh, it doesn't even look like I'm looking at you, wrote was my mother's eulogy and gave it. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I've never broken a bone, knock on fake wood, but so far so good. My favorite movies, my favorite, okay, all-time animated movie is Over the Hedge. I love that movie. It's an older movie, but absolutely my favorite. And the other one is The Color Purple. I don't care how many times I've seen it, I cry every time I watch it. Let's see. I think I talked about reading classics. I hate mysteries, horror. I'm not a big poetry fan. But I like big, thick, chunky books. Anna Karenina, War and Peace, you know, those type of big classics. I had, growing up, piano and clarinet lessons. Piano I do okay, but I always wanted to play outside. My mother thought it was important for me to learn to play the piano. I wish I would have studied harder and stuck with it. But, yeah. So it goes. I've never been to a circus, believe it or not. Just never have. My parents were older when I was born, so there's a lot of things that I didn't do. I think they were all wore out by the time they had me. I'm an only child too, but Mom said always made up for 10 kids. Let's see, things I don't like. I heard Jo talking about she doesn't like coffee. I don't like coffee either. However, and I don't, even decaf, I don't care for the taste of it, but I do like mocha ice cream. My other dislikes, I don't like salmon. I don't like camping. Okay, there's a story reason why. I went to Bible camp when I was young, teenager, and I was so excited to go camping. I'd never been camping before, so we all had tents, and I had 2 other girl roommates. And so we get there in the afternoon, we set our tent up, I roll out my sleeping bag. Well, over the course of the day, the moisture came up through the ground, and so when I was going to climb into my sleeping bag, it was sopping wet. Yeah, that was my one and only camping experience. I mean, I go out to the lake and I picnic and grill out and things like that, but camping, not so much. Maybe if I tried it again, I might, but I'm wondering if I could even get up off the ground if I tried it. I don't like celery. I don't like lima beans, rice, meat. And I'm not a vegetarian, I just don't like the taste of meat. I eat meat because my mother always told me I looked so pale that I needed to eat more meat. In fact, we're in the Midwest, right? I mean, all we have is beef. I don't like dark chocolate. And I've never eaten ramen noodles. How about that? So, oh, and my blood type is A negative, which is one of the rare ones. I think AB negative is below that. But. So that is my random list of things. Now for the giveaway. I just want to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Love all you guys. I consider you my closest stitchy friends. And welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you enjoyed my video and that you'll stay to chat with me, send me messages. I love that. If not, find me on Facebook or message me here. It's been a year now. No, see, this is my 2nd anniversary of flock. Oh my gosh, what in the heck am I doing? And I put gel in my hair. Anyway, oh gosh, never wearing this shirt again. I just lost my train of thought. Old-timers disease, right? It happens when you work on a dimension work. Let's see. Oh, my fabric. Anyway, I've been on floss tube for 2 years now, and all through, from year 1 all the way to second year, I've given away things almost every video. And I just want you to know that I'm just going to continue to do that. You know, it won't be every time, but almost every time I'm going to give something away. It feels good. I feel like the stitching community has given so much to me. Maybe not materialistic wise, some of you materialistic wise, but just your kind comments and your words and your, you know, everybody's rooting for everybody, you know, and it's just such a positive, upbeat community. Yeah, there's a few naysayers, but you take them with a grain of salt, you know. Sometimes I think maybe it's just other circumstances outside of what they reflect on us that cause them to be that way. You know, sometimes we take it personally, but it may not have anything to do with us. So, sorry, here I am again bending over. This is the fabric that I'm giving away. It's a half a yard of Enchanted. Oh, and by the way, I love reading all your comments about your favorite projects. I would love to see them all. And of course, I have my Facebook page, Cross Stitch Homestead, if you want to join. And like I said, it's pretty low key. I mean, there's no drama, none. There's about 32 of us, maybe. And just sharing pictures, and it's not a horribly active group, you know, it's just when we have things or want to ask a question, or, you know, it's not like some of the big groups. And I've had some bad experiences in some of those, and I won't go into those details, but it's just always fun to, you know, just look at people's things. But here's the piece here. It's Enchanted from Stephanie. It's opalescent. It's green, a little bit of lavender. And I'm giving this piece away, and I drew names. I thought there would be more people maybe that would sign up, and I think that's part of the reason why I waited 5 weeks too. So that everybody would have a chance if they wanted to sign up for it. So if you didn't get it this time, have no fear. I'll be giving other things away as well. Fabric, patterns, thread, stitching notions, all kinds of things. So anyway, the winner of this is Threads All Over. So just message me here or on Facebook if you have me added, or add me. And so as soon as I get your address, I'll send this off this week or so. And my next giveaway thing, let's see here, what can I do with them? My goodness gracious. Oh, here it is. I got stuff all, oh God grief. I got stuff all over here. Well, remember I said I wasn't really a mermaid fan. Although I've seen, like I said, some beautiful mermaids. But I am giving away this pattern. It's called Waiting for Ships. And this is by Nora Corbett, and it's number 35. And this is stitched on, it calls for olive green linen, alternate tumbleweed linen. But yeah, there's 3 braids and 3 petite glass beads, 1 crystal treasures, and 3 glass treasures. But yeah, give this away. So I'm going to watch for anyone, excuse me, watching for one of my upcoming videos for, I'll give people enough time to sign up and just put enter me. Unless you want to tell me your favorite kind of chocolate. I have to eat chocolate every day. Something chocolate. You know, lately I've been into peanut clusters. But yeah. And on top of taking insulin, that's why I'm just putting on weight, because I got to keep my blood sugars up. And then the doctor told me to go on a high potassium diet, which is a lot of fruit, potatoes, so that kind of stuff. But yeah, I love to eat. Love it. I'm a foodie, true and true. So anyway, well, thank you for putting up with me this hour. God bless you all. I hope everything's going well for each and every one of you. And hopefully I will see you sometime soon. Take care.